Ross Ulbricht is serving 2 consecutive life sentences plus 40 years for creating a means for individuals to anonymously make online exchanges using Bitcoin. His actions did not create victims. For nothing more than creating a marketplace, the government locked him up and threw away the keys. Let's get Ross pardoned and get victimless crimes off of the books. Hashtag free Ross. Free Ross. Free Ross. Free Ross.
That is the track, hashtag free Ross, and you have got to check it out. You don't even have to listen to it consciously if you don't want. Keep it on repeat because it helps the algorithm. And all the proceeds from this track, which talks about Ross Ulbricht, of course, is in prison, as you heard in the song in the intro to this, for consecutive life sentences, simply providing a platform where people can change goods and services voluntarily. Tyler Colford, one of our longtime supporters, a fantastic artist, as you have heard in this track, is trying to help out. He's trying to help out the Free Ross Project. He's trying to help out with Lynn Ulbricht, getting him out of jail, getting him another trial. So, guys, very important that you support this track, that you support what Tyler's doing, and more than anything, you hashtag Free Ross it.
We spent 50,000 a year for each in the clink. I said, land of the free. Let's get
Welcome to Electric Liberty Land, here on the Lions of Liberty podcast, your weekly shot of culture, comedy, and liberty with your host, Brian McWilliams.
Well, here we go! Guys, can you believe we're finally going to PorcFest again? After all these years! It's been, what, 2 years? That's not that many, I guess.
It's been a while. The last one was pretty wild.
Why are we going in October? It makes no sense.
Well, there's some discussion about that, Rico. I mean, Mark, do you want to tell everybody why we're going in October this year?
Guys, I've been trying to tell you guys, it's in October. It's always been in October. I don't know why you guys keep misremembering that it was in the summer. I've been trying to book this fucking Airbnb for months. If you guys ever read one of my fucking emails or responded to my instant messages or my WhatsApp chats or my text messages.
Have you tried Snapchat?
I have.
Have you tried the Line Discord
and
channel?
Instagram and Discord, and no one responded. If you did, you would know why it's in October. So I'm not even
I've been sitting on Voxer, just staring at a blank Voxer screen.
My God, we deleted that years ago.
I've been on Friendster.
We'll see. When this van gets there, I'll believe it.
Well, if JB would hurry the fuck up, the slowest driver I've ever seen in my entire life. He's just sitting. I don't even know if he's driving. He's just shaking. He's just epileptic.
Why are we get policy with Lee to drive us to PorcFest?
Yeah, fuck this. I don't know where we're going. We're lost. Bridge is out. I need to shit.
Bill Weld is the headline speaker. We can't miss this.
I think.
Oh God, Bill's back. I heard Bill's redeemed himself. That's a rumor I've heard, but I don't know. Maybe somebody knows more. We can chat about that later. Well, why don't we just get out?
It's actually a panel.
Dark.
It's a panel about liberty in America with Bill Weld and Pete Quinones. It's going to be pretty interesting. Looking forward to it.
What the fuck is Howie doing?
Get away from my mushrooms, you bastards. I found them. They're all mine.
You have mushrooms?
He's like a truffle pig.
Howie, you've been hoarding mushrooms this whole time?
Howie, did you hoard those or did you find them?
It doesn't matter. They're mine.
First of all, you don't want to do mushrooms with 5 other drunk people. You got to share, Howie. It's the only way you're going to have fun.
Yeah, come on, man. Don't you want to give some to your pals here? You're just going to lie next to that log, slowly humping it.
Let me set aside my heroic dose. This is going to be an experience.
When did we get here, by the way? I don't even remember the van pulling up, but it seems like we're just here now. So, yeah, I guess we're here.
Wait, did we remember to get that keg of beer on the way?
I thought Roger Paxton was going to get it for us.
No, we went to an office. They don't actually have beer there.
That office was listed as a distributor on the map. I'll have you know that when I researched it ahead of PorcFest.
You went to the corporate headquarters of the beer company. That's not where you buy kegs, guys. Jeez. If you read my emails, you would know where to get the keg.
She was like, "Are you the 230? Are you trying to start a new beverage label?" Like, well, not exactly.
You were supposed
Do you
to
have a
stop at
tasting room here?
You were supposed to stop at Paxton Farms, where Roger Paxton is raising venomous
Strike
pigs.
the Root Farms, I believe it's called. By the way, that's an idiotic name for a farm. Strike the root. If you strike the root at a farm, you're going to kill every plant that you plant. That's just a fact.
That's why he just has pigs.
Plant.
He just has pigs there. They just eat the roots, and that's it.
He just hugs all the pigs and then kills them. Ruthless.
When he should
Real
be
friend.
getting our keg and organizing Pork Fest.
If he treats the pigs as kindly as he treated JB and I when we were vomiting on the side of the hill a couple years ago, I have no problem with it. But just, Odie, you're a hunter. Can you get us a fire going? Maybe a little something to warm ourselves by? Howie's slowly getting hypothermia over there.
No problem. Sure, I can get that done.
Why is Odie building the fire? Just because he's a hunter?
He's got the hair gel stuck in
Because he's
that
an
fucking
outdoorsman.
board.
Obviously, the most outdoorsy.
These are totally different skills.
Despite the amount of pomade you put in your hair,
Killing a
you are
deer
the most
is not the
outdoorsy
same.
of us all.
Killing an innocent deer to the chagrin of Anthony Samarov is not the same as starting a fire.
How do you define innocent?
Odie, how do
Did
you
nothing to
kill
you.
an innocent animal like that and expect to call yourself a libertarian?
Anthony Samarov has joined us. I didn't know he was in the
You
band.
eat an innocent
That was
head of
good.
lettuce.
That was
Because I'm
good.
skinny from eating no meat. I didn't even see him.
Gentlemen, I was walking through the forest and I heard some sounds. I heard there were some shrooms lying on the ground. I'm not meaning to tell poetry, but
mine.
it comes out like that sometimes.
They're mind you lying.
Who wants to debate?
Are the Scottish like demons? Do they always rhyme? That's how you know the real demon? That's how you know the
I
real
believe
Scot?
so. How dare you besmirch my country and my legacy? I will not stand for this. Like William Wallace before me, I will bend over and show you my bottom and then disappear into the annals of history. Good day.
This is the first good impression I've ever heard Brian do.
Am I tripping?
What do you mean impression? Anthony is right here at the campfire.
Well, he was right. Where'd he go?
Well, he was.
He's like a Scottish ninja. Just disappeared into the fucking woods. It kilts a flapping. That was amazing. Well, anyway, I mean, we got Anthony's gone. We got to kill time here.
Hey, the
Until-
fire's going. Fire's going. That was quick.
You
Easy.
started the
We
fire.
call
You
that
did
a
not
fire.
start the fire in that amount of
didn't
time.
start.
There is
Bullshit.
no way.
He
Odie,
didn't start
what
the
Odie
fire.
does, he takes
Didn't
one of
light it, but
He was
we're
killing
up
a deer.
in
So how
repair.
could he have done it?
Had a lighter. I just lit Howie's suitcase on fire. It's perfect.
Did you even make a
All
fire?
his Adderall's going to go up in flames.
This is just the woods on fire, Odie. There's no circle. There's nothing. This is gonna get out of control. You're gonna burn down Pork Fest.
You'll feel
You're gonna
just at
burn
home,
down
just
Strike
like
the Root
California.
No, it's
Suit
good.
cat-
It rains in
How's
New
suit
Hampshire.
smells
We should
like
be
Hunter
fine.
Biden's hotel room. Weird smells. Well, anyway, why don't we settle in, guys? Everybody, settle down. Why don't we make a night of this? We're trapped here. We can tell.
I'm just pissed we're not
Ghost
going
story.
trick or treating.
Well,
You
let's
guys
see.
know I love trick or treating every year, and you said no. We have to have a campfire. We gotta tell scary stories. It'll
Eat
be
these
fun.
mushrooms. It'll be
specifically-
fine.
Rico
Maybe
was the
someone
one
will pee
bitching
themselves.
about trick or treating, which is why we went to Pork Fest in the first place. Rico
I
was
was
whining and
not-
complaining.
You don't listen to me. You just talk over me, my ideas, which are fantastic.
We don't have
Here
fucking
we
ideas.
are. I had the original idea, and you just
What's
shit
that?
all
Bravo
over
and
it.
Beers, Rico?
It is the
I
very
know you.
same.
One
I
of
know
the
that voice
same.
anywhere.
What
My
was your
booking
great
agent.
idea then? Lay it on me. What was your amazing, fantastic idea that's better?
Are we breaking the fourth wall?
Well, we can.
Okay,
Well,
my
Once you say
idea
fourth
was,
wall, you've broken it.
You've already
Was-
done it. Yeah.
that's
Thanks,
true.
Wade.
Like a
Are we all-
Deadpool movie.
Well, my idea was we would go do trick or treating as we do every year, and I would say, "This is fucking stupid. This idea has jumped the shark at least 3 years ago." Then I would spike all of our drinks with some acid, and we would do a trippy Halloween show.
Wow. Well, who's to say that didn't already happen, Rico?
Maybe
Who's
that
to
is.
say?
Maybe that's how we got here in the first place.
I mean, does
Because
anybody
come to
remember
think of it-
driving here?
Yeah,
I
how the hell
actually
did we get in that
remember-
van with JB?
Well,
I
that's
actually
the thing.
remember
You
sending
listen,
those
hear me
emails I
out
was
here.
ranting about.
Why?
I can make
If we were
Rofinol from
sober-
scratch. That's how.
Exactly.
Dr.
Exactly.
Science.
If we were of our right minds, why would we
Science.
have JB drive, the worst, slowest driver of any of the
Yeah.
Lions of Liberty?
The
Doesn't
more I
make
think
sense.
about it, this is not adding up at all.
Wait, we just
I
buried the
don't-
lead.
I think that claim's contested.
JB can make Rofinol from scratch.
I sure can.
I said, DM me.
I didn't go to school for 100 years for nothing, Rico.
I got married,
known
didn't I? Well, now that we're here,
So hold on. Are we eating mushrooms inside of an already induced psychedelic trip? This is
let's go double shrooming, kid.
Whew. Okay.
Shrooms on shrooms.
Well, I can't say I'm opposed to it, to be honest.
Worse things have and will happen. Well, let's settle in. What's everybody drinking, by the way? We got some shrooms in our bloods. We got some LSD. We got some roofenol. JB, the man who roofied us all, what did you put the roofies in?
Wouldn't you like to know?
My butt?
Well, you know, it absorbs faster that way. Wink, wink.
What are you actually drinking?
I've got some Isla Jura, you know. Keep the single malt going. It's delicious. Delicioso.
Very nice, very nice. Mark, what are you guzzling over there?
Wouldn't you like to know? I'm not sharing my secret drink recipe with anybody. Not this year. I've made that mistake before. I'm drinking.
Well, that
I'm
was
drinking
interesting,
juice.
Rico.
Yeah, I don't know what that meant.
I don't either, but that
Mark's
part wasn't
rubbing his
scripted.
nose, so apparently he's drinking cocaine.
Subtle hint.
It comes in liquid form now, thanks to Dr. Howie.
I'm drinking my cider and spiced rum.
Oh, I am also drinking the cider and the spiced rum tonight. We'll sail
I was just talking about with somebody. What kind of asshole still drinks spiced rum? Well, I guess we got the answer.
What? It's the season, man. What do you drink with your apple cider? Vodka? Like some sort of fucking
Jim Beam,
hair,
like a
hair
goddamn American.
First off, Odie, Jim Beam's terrible. Spiced rum is good. The only
How dare you?
the only bad
Dare
rum
you?
I've ever had was a Korean rum called Captain Q. Don't ever try it. It's,
That was your
Captain
first
Kidd?
mistake.
it's the worst.
Korean rum?
Well, I lived
You
in
got
Korea.
your hoon!
I lived in Korea for 3.5 years. I ended up with a bottle of Korean rum called Captain Q, and it was disgusting. It was the only rum I've ever been like
Captain
well,
Q,
I
like
was kinda-
QAnon, or Captain Cute, like a kitten?
Q, like QAnon. I was gonna say it was the only rum I couldn't drink, but
How
I
many
did.
little
I
half
did
Korean
finish
Howies
the bottle.
are running around Korea right now? Over
How
under
many
5.
Korean Howies there are?
Daddy, hold on, I'm young. All right, well,
None
let's
did
get
I know
to
of.
it. We're
I'm
here.
drinking
Why don't we-
Sweetwater 420. Thanks for asking.
I didn't ask. I didn't want to know because
You know,
you're
I was just
besmirching our
talking to
fucking
someone
rum
the
and
other
cider.
day about what kind of assholes still drink Sweetwater 420, and here we are, John Odermatt.
Yeah, it's all
Got me.
came full
You
circle.
got me. Touche.
Well, who wants to saddle up here and tell a ghost story? You know, we're here, we're in the woods, it's Halloween time.
Hate ghost stories.
Oh, you guys heard that shit, right?
The hell was that?
It's time for a story. A Tales from the Liberty Crypt.
Man, who came up with that? That's
Some
brutal.
genius, unnamed genius, I believe. Well, how about this? I have an idea for a story I think you guys are going to like. It's a little something to kick things off. It's called Yemen-t Well.
I can't
All
wait.
right, well, get ready. Strap in, kiddies. Get your boots on.
Is
So it
this
was a
like an
stressful
episode of
time.
Morty's Mind Blowers or like Treehouse of Horror kind of thing? Is
Yeah,
that
it's like a
kinda where we're
Treehouse of
going with
Horror. It's like literally from Tales from the Crypt, idiot. That's why it's called Tales from the Liberty Crypt. You get it? You know that show where they tell us ghost stories? That's exactly like that.
this? Well, who is the fucking crypt keeper then in this one?
Howie's more or less the Crypt keeper. There you go. I got the ball.
That was good.
I'm pretty fucking talented, man.
That was your new
All right.
first best impression after Anthony Sammeroff.
I really did fucking nail Samaroff. We should actually have a pretend debate, and I'll just be him the whole time arguing something horrible. Like, I
Oh,
don't know.
Brian, I can't.
Pro
do it.
kid
I'm
eating.
sorry.
Now, Mark, anyway, I'm moving on to the story.
You're never gonna
All right.
be able to recreate it. It's over. It's gone.
I know, it's impossible now. Mark, it's me. Now I sound like a fucking Beatle. It's me.
never gonna-
Yeah.
It's me,
Now you're
Paul
John
McCartney.
Lennon.
Yeah,
Don't
now you're
go
from
killing the
Liverpool.
animals, man.
It's Paul McCartney.
Why would
I'm
you eat a
the
deer when you've got a
children.
perfectly nice piece of broccoli here?
All right, it was a stressful time for the Trump family as they all sat together in the White House. The Donald was pushing for re-election, tweeting at a frantic pace. Donald Jr. watched him creepily stroking his goatee in the corner of the Oval Office.
Oh, yeah. That's hot. Daddy, when you tweet it, gives me happy pants.
Melania was maintaining herself, tucking her lady flaps in and doing the other things that first ladies do while in the White House.
Got to keep it tight for my orange man. Otherwise, he won't keep himself so bad. That bad orange man makes me horny.
When did Arnold Schwarzenegger get here?
I don't know. He never left. He's always been in statecraft. Eric Trump was busy doing facial expressions in the mirror to rid himself of dirt face.
Damn this dirt face! Why is Donald Jr. so much better than me? I hate you!
And Ivanka was acting strange.
I'm just so hungry. I'm so hungry, and this damn nonstop diarrhea is so awful. Oh, my sweet ass.
Night fell over the White House, but it brought with it an uncharacteristic chill. As the Trump children slept, they dreamt of horrible things. Drones flying in the air, weddings exploding, and children burned. Floating specters appeared over the Trump children, settling into their bodies. They shook and shivered in their beds before opening their eyes. And what we saw instead of their own eyes were Yemenis' children's eyes! Donald Jr., Eric, and Ivanka stumbled toward the Trump's main bedroom.
We're hungry. Where's my bed?
Who's there? Who's there? Did you smell that in the air? That's an election win coming for old daddy there. Kids, you better get back to bed. No giant gold letters on your house for Christmas.
I don't think those are kids.
After doing an insanely accurate Trump impression, the door to the Trump bedroom bursts open! Instead of the Trump children, desiccated corpses that once were men and women, the Trump children have shrunk to the size of 5-year-olds, taking the forms of the murdered youths in Yemen.
It's time for you to suffer, Mr. President!
I was going to kill you, my own bastard child, soon. You ghosts rob me of everything I have worked for.
Melania screams and throws herself out the window. The children point at Trump's bowels, which begin to pulse. He starts shitting himself nonstop in the bed, his intestines falling out of his own ass.
This is worse than debating Hillary. Not really. Fuck you, ghost kids. We had to placate the Saudis, and Obama started all this in the first place.
We know who started this. He's next.
Fuck you, you black bastard.
Too.
And Michelle, too.
Oh my God. I gotta call Barack Obama.
And with his final breath, Trump dials Barack Obama. The phone rings as the children cast flames around his bed. Ring, ring. Ring, ring. Ghost drones fly through Trump's skull, making his eyes roll. Donald, what the hell do you want at 3 a.m?
Barack, I have something vital to tell you. If your children, Sasha and Malia, start to act a little strange, and they come to your and Michelle's bedroom, whatever you do, let them in.
Dun, 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 dun! The end. That's the first story.
That Donald Trump sounded a lot like Odie sleeping.
It sounded a little like
I couldn't get it going. Couldn't get it going with these lines.
No, pretty terrible. Pretty awful there. Considering Donald Trump was dying at the end of that story, I thought you'd have a little more oomph. You know, he's in pain.
Why would he call Barack? I don't get it.
Because he wants Barack to die, Odie.
Exactly, Odie.
It's a swerve, Odie. At first you think he's going to call him to save him.
You would have read the script. You would
realize
know that, Odie.
Even if you don't read the script, Odie, which I didn't, I still got what was going on.
Thank you. It seemed fairly obvious of the bait and switch there of let the murdering kids in because Trump hates Obama so much.
I think.
Yeah, but Obama's not in the White House.
Oh,
should have been Biden.
He's got a bedroom somewhere else.
Yeah, he certainly sleeps somewhere. It doesn't mean that he's not still responsible for the war in Yemen.
First, it's not a believable story. Let me just say that.
And I'm pretty sure Trump still hates Barack more than he hates Biden.
I would agree completely. All right. Well, anyway,
You
that's
could
our
have tried to
first
call.
story.
Yeah, whatever.
Called Ghostbusters?
I was going to say,
first
could have
story
tried to
just
call
from
Biden in the basement.
It's on the basement phone. Biden slowly creeps over. Well, who's got? Anybody else have another story here you want to get
God,
into?
You guys, do I got a
Anything-
story?
Rico's got a story.
Oh boy!
It's a doozy.
Can we take
Go story time.
we eat more mushrooms first? Because I think I'm gonna need them for this. Okay, Howie, pass them over. Come on.
There we go.
Share.
Fuck off, Jew.
1 cap
All right.
for you,
Wow.
2 caps
All right,
for me.
that got really,
Wow.
that really got really personal.
Okay.
Putin.
Maybe I'll
No
just talk to
caps for
JB.
you?
You got any more of those roofies?
Coming right up.
Look, I'm gonna need something to get through this show. Okay.
I'm an equal opportunist druggist.
Thank you. Delicious. Now
Well,
that's a
unlike-
doctor of science.
Unlike the last story, this one is actually a true story. So, buckle up, kids. This could happen to you if you are one day a super successful podcast host and comic book fan who does all your work from the laptop from hell. Anyone who knows Mark knows he's always breaking his laptop or getting it stolen or
Yes.
spilling wine on it.
My
Or
laptop's
spilling
never
beer
been
on
stolen.
it.
Been coming all over the
spilling
keyboard.
whiskey
It's
on
like
it.
Hunter Biden.
Or sometimes he just puts it
Ectoplasm.
in the toilet for no particular reason. So he's doing
Well,
something
I have a
dumb.
logical explanation for that, but I'll let you finish the story.
So he's always in the market for a fresh laptop. Well, one fateful day, Mark breaks his laptop again and brings it to the store. They give it back and he tosses it in his car and he doesn't think much of it. It looks like his laptop. What he doesn't see is a thick black ooze coming out of the USB port as he drives to work.
Another rich day full of masturbating in a dark room and then podcasting. Oh boy, do I love my life.
Well, good morning, Mark. Hope you have another fantastic day here at the Jizzworks.
Wow. I never knew my boss had such an over-the-top personality. You know it, Mr. Willy Wonka.
After a fantastically rewarding day, Mark hops back into his car to drive home. The laptop has moved from the backseat into the pouch in the back of the driver's seat behind him. As he drives, black, oily tendrils creep up the seat and sit poised next to Mark's ears and nose holes. Mark doesn't notice because he's super stoned.
Gloria, Gloria, you're always on the run now, Gloria.
The tendrils squish into his holes, filling him with pure evil. Mark crashes the car into a nearby pod of children in a Zoom class, giving them the side eye. He picks up his phone and makes a long-distance call to China.
Hello? Mr. Xi Jinping? I never know how to say your name with all the Z's and the X's and the J's. Anyway, it's Hunter. Yeah, it's Hunter. I'm back.
Oh, Hunter! So happy to hear from you. I thought you died of crack edema, no? So happy. How is Big Man?
Wow, you sound an awful lot like Kim Jong-un, but I'm just going to look past that. Anyway, he's doing really good. Big Man's great. As good as some 14-year-old. Well, hold on. I'll call you back. I got to hit up my crack dealer real quick.
Mark hops out of the car, texting feverishly and waving to a crack dealer on the street corner.
Hey, man, give me some of that sweet-ass crack, man. Come on. Oh, yeah. Time to post some pictures of me in bed smoking this crack and then call out my 14-year-old little niece because I, Mark Claire, love banging. Hold it. No, I'm not finishing the story. No more.
It is a story.
Oh, Mark, the story isn't over. You still have to defeat
it's
the
over.
evil in the laptop, and you can't do that until Hunter's evil goo has made you do all the creepy shit he did.
Nope. Fuck that. This story is over. I am not getting canceled over this shit. That is enough of that. Story over. I told you I hate stories.
Whoa, come on.
Laptop from hell.
Ruining everybody's show,
First
Mark.
of all, Ryan's laptop is way worse off than mine. He's the one that's always losing his power, losing his internet, losing his Zoom calls, losing his everything. My laptop just,
scrubbing the hard drive.
Works.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I might lose the Zoom calls, but no one's catching shit on my laptop. I got all the things I need.
Rico's saying this is a true story. I don't remember any of this happening. This didn't happen to me. I was never possessed by this spirit of Hunter Biden.
How would you know? You were possessed by Hunter
I would
Biden.
know.
Okay.
You wouldn't know.
Okay, guys.
You wake up with black. You told me you wake up with black shit coming out of your head all the time.
But that's
How do you know which black shit's which black shit?
I have one.
heroin tar smells nothing like that black goo you're talking about.
That's true.
Is JB's jizz black? Is it
Listen,
JB jizz coming out of your head?
Y'all know
You're
about
telling me in the true story
Sweat
I
is the
work
driven
at
snow,
this
Mick
works?
Hey, a quick break so you guys can get your wits about you and stop being terrified of these unbelievably frightening tales. To remind you to check out The Liberty Theorist on Medium. Our buddy Brad, he has a fantastic blog over there talking about all things liberty and also tying in a lot of really interesting conspiracies, talking about JFK a lot. It's fantastic content. I love it. You'll love it. And if nothing else, your ghost relatives will love it. I mean, this is a Halloween show. Tell them about it. Go to your grandmother's grave. Tell her. Check out The Liberty Theorist on Medium, medium.com/@Liberty Theorist. Okay, back to this show. I'm drunk.
Y'all may know about the story, this legend, but maybe not the true story of the Dark Tom Woods.
Whoa.
Whoa!
Okay.
Shit!
Okay.
I better strap in for this one.
I'm finally interested in a story. Finally. My God.
It was the dark and stormy night. Tom Woods is podcasting as usual.
The Tom Woods Show, episode number 4218. If you're like me, you hate responding to any other libertarian podcasters. Download my free ebook, Fuck Lions of Liberty alternate host, Brian McWilliams.
And who could blame Tom Woods for saying that? But on this terrible night, a lightning storm coincides with the passing of a comet through the stratosphere. Boom! Just like 12,000 years ago, it wiped out some.
Yeah, that sounded like lightning.
Easy now.
Lightning strikes in Tom's cable internet pole, zapping Tom, who is a bit fried but unharmed.
Whoa! Might have to spike my oatmeal with half a teaspoon of wine after that shot. Exactly what Tom was
Unbeknownst to Tom, out in the street under the electrical pole stands a nefarious shadow. Over the next couple of days, podcasts disappear.
Hey, that actually happened to me and the Fadcast. And when I was on the Fadcast. This is actually a real story.
It happens every week when I record basically everything.
All emails or tweets to Tom Woods go unanswered. Clearly, something has to be to blame. You can't not be a jerk that doesn't answer other popular libertarians. Not only shows that
It seems
Howie
funny.
needs to learn how to emphasize.
a little pointed
certain
here.
words. He's like a second grader reading the words as fast as he can.
it's a funny
What
thing.
I did, and I found a fish, and it was the best summer vacation of my life.
It's a funny thing.
One
Now,
fish,
I was
two
thinking
fish,
about
three
something
fish.
while I was reading this.
Red
Well,
fish,
don't
blue
do
fish.
that.
No.
Read
fish,
it
blue fish?
again.
You're thinking about a better story.
See, Tom
Read it
Woods.
again.
See, Tom Woods had someone scheduled to appear on his show, and he had to adjust the schedule, and the guy got super pissed off, starts blasting him on like Twitter, like all this shit, and Tom's like freaking out.
This is a real story?
Yes, it's a real story.
I don't see this in the script anywhere.
And
I'm trying to find it. And
Stay on script, Howie. Come on.
I DM him, and I'm talking to Tom, and I'm like, listen, there's
Tom
something.
Woods was talking to you?
Yes.
Responded
That
to
doesn't
you?
sound right.
Yeah.
Can I see?
Did you
Can
pay
we
him money?
see
Is that why he
these?
responded?
let's
Nope.
see the screenshots. Then it didn't happen.
He's talking to Tammy Woods, some poor 11-year-old girl in Minnesota.
So I'm
He's like, he
talking-
won't stop messaging me, Mom.
I'm talking to Tom, and I said, somebody who I will not name here was supposed to be on the Lions Liberty podcast, but Mark had to reschedule, and they took it as like an insult, and they will still not come on. I'm like, this is somebody we both love. This guy who you're interacting with right now, who is acting crazy, it's probably a similar thing. Like, yeah, he's being ridiculous, but some people freak out over things like this and overreact. And I'm like,
So
Tom,
anyway, back to the story.
No, I want to know. So
No,
I
I
want to
gotta
know
hear the
how
end of
many
this one.
messages
So
Howie sent to
anyways-
Tom Woods. Like
so anyways-
500 messages
mail,
from Howie, and then like,
mail.
Hey, Tom.
Tom
Hey,
was
Cat.
like, "K."
New mail. New mail.
the only time I've ever messaged him, just because, I could see what was going on. It was very similar to something we had go on in our own family here. And about a week or two later, he actually had this guy on the podcast. I'm like, oh, good. I guess he listened to what I said, and they worked it out. And
Yep.
I'm sure
You're
that's
a
what
true
happened.
mediator. You're like in that movie, The Negotiator. You know,
And
they
I
passed
really hope Brian gets the person that I will not name that Mark alienated on his podcast, though.
I know exactly who you're talking about. I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure you
I
do.
am.
I do too.
All
It's
right,
just
Howie,
the false telling of the story. But anyway, go on.
No idea.
Back to the story. Let's go back to all emails for Tom Woods or whatever. Come on, Howie, get back into the story. The poor people out there need to know what happens with this Dark Tom Woods.
Just say not. Start with not only shows.
There you go.
How do you know where his story starts in this unscripted show? I mean,
guessing.
Campfire.
Because
Like-
it said
Never
that
going
once.
to end.
Lightning strikes Tom's. Wait, no, where are we? JB is taken.
Nope.
What?
That's still too
No.
All right.
No.
Not only shows disappear, but people disappear. Odie is taken.
What the fuck? I never even spoke with Tom Wood!
And of course, Howie's drinking during his next line. JB is taken.
I can't believe this. I don't even listen to Tom Wood.
But JB is given back because the shadow is racist.
What in the actual fuck? You Confederate sympathizer.
More and more strange happenings occur. Half of Porkfest turns to ash and the drugs turn to Tylenol. Which is very deadly, kids. Much more deadly than crack.
That's true.
Red glowing eyes can be seen in the woods as we hear.
Dark Tom Woods welcomes you to episode 666. Show notes at darktomwoods.com/murder! Exclamation mark. Download my free ebook, Parting the Problem, How to Cleave Dave Smith in 2.
Dark Tom appears as Tom Woods.
Nope, that's not what happened.
Dark Tom appears at Tom Woods' house with 4 little demons who set fires around the entire building. They're trapped as a bubble of pure darkness envelopes the screaming family until Bob Murphy arrives.
He really is like a little
Bob
kid. He's
Murphy!
reading.
The role that Odie was made to play.
I'm here for you. Just gotta sing some karaoke. Wait a minute. We'll do that later. Just hold on, buddy. I've got Christ on my side.
Bob starts to pray, but one of the evil shadow daughters just laughs at him and kicks him straight in the nuts.
Kicked me in the Holy Trinity. Yes, I have 3 balls, but I have another idea.
Bob Murphy starts throwing flaming copies of Paul Kruger's books and articles at the evil beings. The light emitted from all that flaming bullshit shines searingly on the shadows, banishing them for now.
I'm Tom Woods, and I'll never forget what happened here tonight. Or then you can promote your website on my podcast. Yes, even Shadow Demons. After all, I'm a capitalist. The end. Well read, Howard.
Wow.
Well read.
I always wondered where Dark Tom Woods first came from, and that wasn't actually answered in this story. But hey.
No, that's not it. I actually know, but I will never
No,
tell.
it literally came
I
from
will never
podcasting.
tell.
Lightning struck his house and created an alternate demon version of Tom Woods.
Have you guys noticed it's snowing now? Why did we come to New Hampshire in October? This was pretty dumb.
I
I've been
swear to God,
emailing you about this
Porkfest
for
used to be
3
in
months.
June.
It really did. I also thought it was in June as well. I
Well,
don't
you didn't
remember
answer
it
my
ever being
emails
in
in
October.
June, so here we are. It's
Is that how it
Porkfest
works now?
Is this
We
the
just go whenever
Mandela
we answer
effect?
the
What's
email.
going on?
Yes,
What the fuck is
that's
going
how it
on?
works.
What the
This
fuck
one-
is going on?
This one is not answering emails
Holy
punishable by
shit.
death.
Holy shit. Fuck. You guys.
What? What's going on, Howie? What's
wrong
going
with
on?
Howie? What is wrong
Uh-oh.
with this guy? Did he eat too many of those shrooms?
Howie really... Okay. Howie's
freaking
tripping
out.
balls hard over there.
Yeah,
These rooms are good shit, guys. Howie's over there losing his goddamn mind. So I expect
am
a lot of this to really kick us in the
actually
dick in a minute.
feeling pretty weird myself now because my fingers seem to be snakes with Bill Weld's head on them. So I'm
my
not
head in the
sure.
freezer. Put my
Okay,
head in the freezer.
okay,
Put my head in the
okay,
freezer.
okay. This actually reminds me of a story. Actually, I'm gonna. Somebody have any water? I can snap out of this real quick. Just give me a. Actually, does anybody have? You know what I need?
Escape
Plan. Give me 1 second. Give me some of that crack from the story from before.
There you go, a little hunter crack.
I'm back. All right. I got a great story. You ready? Okay. All right.
Yeah, let's hear it.
All right. I heard this just happened at a Libertarian convention in Massachusetts. All right. We're really close by, about 40 miles that way. I don't know anything about distance, but I think it's about 40 miles that way. This one is
Why
called.
are you talking so slow?
What do you mean I'm talking too slow? I'm pretty sure I'm talking really fast. Aren't I talking really fast? I just did that crack. I think I'm talking fast. I don't know. Are you fucking with me? Or you think you're fucking with me? Anyway, moving on. The story's called Weld's Mind Weld. Weld's Mind Meld. All right. Here's the story. Bill Weld has been in the news a lot lately, and you guys know how much we roasted him for supporting Hillary Clinton and now Joe Biden, even admitting and posting and bragging about voting for Joe Biden. OG
Fucking
Libertarian, my crackhead ass. But he showed up last week to a Libertarian convention in Massachusetts. It's a little bit of a smaller one, but he showed up and he claiming he had repented for his sins against liberty.
Hello, my fellow libertarians. It's me, Bill Weld. I've come to repent and to make amends. You see, I've come to see the light.
Bullshit.
Oof. Sod off, you wanker.
You're a jackass.
Suck a dick, Bill.
Let's keep it civilized, please. I
Your
expected
only
more
friend
info.
is Gary Johnson, loser.
Don't say
Gary
Gary Johnson. I heard someone say my name. Gary Johnson, former governor of New Mexico, two-term governor, most conservative governor in the history of the United States, former two-time Libertarian Party presidential nominee, Gary Johnson, who just apparently did a bunch of crack because I'm talking real fast too. And did someone say Gary Johnson? Because I am Bill Weld's friend. In fact, I am his best friend. Hello, everybody.
The fuck you are, Gary. Get to the
What?
let's get to the point.
That's
Get to the point.
not very nice way to talk to your best friend, but anyway, as Bill's best friend, I brought his other best friend too. That is, of course, whiskey for you, Bill. Yes, of course. We want to show you that we all want to show you that Bill is very sorry, and we're going to go into the back and pour everyone some whiskey shots. Everyone loves whiskey shots. I'll be doing edibles in the corner, all right? Let's go, guys. Be right back. Bill and Gary go into the back of the hotel meeting room where the waitstaff usually are. Bill reaches out and snaps the necks of two waiters. Wow, I didn't know how violent my story was. Who collapse on the floor. Whoops, that was just me dropping my bong. Sorry about that, everybody. Gary pulls from his oversized suit coat a bottle of whiskey and a large drill. Bill leans forward and opens the bottle.
This capital it for Bill. All right, Gary, let's get to work.
Gary pushes the drill bit into the side of Bill's head. Viscous blue fluid runs down his face, down his nose as he positions it over the whiskey, which mixes with his brain sauce. Oh boy, Bill, they won't suspect a thing, like when I was getting high before media interviews in 2016, and today. They finish up and pour the whiskey into shots, which are taken by the crowd.
All right, everybody, so what Bill likes to say, let's put our best foot forward and the mistakes of the past behind us. Solange!
All right. Cheers, everybody.
Like Solange Knowles, Beyonce's sister?
Yes, it's Solange, the Beyonce sister. Bill Weld's been up in that ass. Bill Weld doesn't discriminate. That's why he's the OG Libertarian. Wow, what amazing content. Talk about creativity. Talk about liberty coming through in every way. Even through the Halloween themes, my God. Guys, it's a pledge break for Lions of Liberty right here because I want to let you know that you can get on board, support this podcast, and get 2 months free for our pride, our Patreon content that everybody loves. They all love it. By joining up and get that annual year membership, 2 months free. And if you join at $15 or higher annually, you get a free beanie. Yeah, your head's cold and ugly. Mine is. Don't have an ugly head. And don't have an ugly soul. Support the Lions of Liberty. We're doing shit like this. That's our trademark. the Lions of Liberty, doing shit like this at patreon.com/Lions of Liberty.
Woo!
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, I guess the rest of the crowd's not going to respond as they were supposed to. So in that case, I'll just continue with the story. The zombies.
Everybody drinks.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a little bit of narration.
Somebody has some exposition there.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought everybody was going to drink. So anyway, as everybody was drinking, everybody drinks. And the faces of the Libertarians go slack. Their mouths open, and they become zombies. But not just any zombies. Leftist zombies. Feminist men are the only good men.
Abortions at any point.
We must be active anti-racist.
Science is science. Love is love.
It's not enough to be possibly not racist. We must be actively anti-racist.
The zombies slowly march. Oh, the zombies are just going on and on. After the zombies continue to drone on and on, the zombies then slowly march into early voting centers. In unison, the voting levers are pulled and the ballots punched. Not for Joe Jorgensen, but for Joe Biden.
You libertarian fools! By playing the left game, you have become the left. Bow before Weld. Bow before statism.
And that night, my friends, the fires of freedom truly burned out, as the fires of Antifa burned on through the dawn. But the fires of liberty continued to roar through John Odermatt. I just added that line.
Is that why we're in the Liberty Crypt right now? Because it
And
seems
that
Liberty.
is why Odie started the fire, because the fires of liberty. are
We
burning.
did start the fire.
Maybe he'll
That was
rise from the
powerful.
ashes like a phoenix.
Wow. I have no idea how I got through that story because I am really messed up right now, guys.
Yeah, I can't even see my hands.
I think the
Did somebody
crack
eat
is now
my hands?
mixing with the mushrooms and the roofies and creating actually a new drug inside me that I'm just learning about as I go.
Does anybody want to hear a real ghost story?
Crack shrooms? A
Yes.
real ghost story, Howie? Of course
Yes.
we want to hear a
Crack?
real ghost story.
All right. So
Wolf of crack?
as you all know,
How much crack is in the ghost story?
there's no crack in it.
Well, okay.
So
No
as y'all-
crack. Well, I'm out.
How about regular cocaine? Is there any in that?
Thank you. How much regular cocaine?
There's no drugs in this story, but it kind of changed my life. So
All
as,
right,
you all,
let's hear it,
I don't even
man.
know if we're still on the show anymore or not.
as you all
I'm
know,
listening.
as you all know, my father is a funeral director, and I've been in the presence of hundreds of dead bodies, maybe 1,000 in my life. And I've never saw
Been inside a few of them?
I've never seen anything paranormal ever at all. But I dated this girl, Renee, in high school. Well, actually, it was after high school. She had a thing for me in high school. I kind of, I went to college, whatever. I was with Jamie. I came
These are the
back.
important details.
I came back. Renee was like in Costa Rica for like some study thing, and I did her sister Kristen instead. And then she comes.
All right,
Then she comes.
got
Then she,
Again, irrelevant points of the story, but continue.
No,
It feels like it should be a
Vital
Patreon
footnotes.
bonus
These are
show.
vital
It's like you're
footnotes.
just trying to brag about this.
no, it's relevant.
So then I went and I banged her mom.
It's
I was all
relevant.
right. She wasn't happy about that. And then what happened? And then what? Their mom ended up in the dead on the table at the home, and her dad came in to see the dead
All right.
mom. And when he bent over, I fucked him in the ass.
So it's relevant. Renee
Got
comes
the whole
back.
family.
You think we'll
We're-
lose
we're-
more listeners from the show or gain?
Renee comes back,
You
and we
say that
start.
every year, Mark.
Renee comes back and we start dating. Then she finds out I was dating her sister, and she's like, "What? You gonna date my brother next?" I'm like, "No, come on, he is
No,
pretty
you're
cool."
fine.
I was like, yes.
But 5% of me would.
But anyways, when she was studying in Costa Rica, she was seeing this dude, and they went out this night. They went to this little bar down in Costa Rica, and this girl he used to date was there too. Renee was, being cool about it all, and some girls that liked him or something she was dancing with him. And they got all pissed off. And this bar was this dirty, shitty bar or whatever. So she decides she's gonna go back to this guy's place to use the bathroom.
Were you there? Or
No.
you
This
waiting
is
at-
this is secondhand. when she's on
I
her
have a
way
lot
to,
of secondhand ghost stories too.
Yeah,
When
so
she's-
do I. This was a
All
real
right.
one.
Well, listen. Well, while she's
Yeah,
on
you
her,
did include it by the funeral home. And
I have thousands of
corpses.
secondhand ghost stories through watching Unsolved Mysteries.
I thought you were going to tell me one of the corpses reanimated.
You could
and
have just
tried
had
to choke
Remso
you.
on.
Well,
One of the real
this-
ghost stories.
this ghost
Thank you for
story-
starting. He starts every story with it was in the funeral home around dead bodies. Then he's like, and that was the best episode I ever saw of CIS
of Roseanne.
SUV or whatever.
if you guys don't want to hear it, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. If you don't want to hear it.
Well,
I've heard
we
this story
get
like
the
9
really
times.
I've
Crawling
heard
so
enough.
far.
You might as well finish at this
All right.
point.
So this doesn't have to do with me, but it has to do
That's
with
what you
two girls that I dated. So when this girl is walking home to go use the bathroom at this guy's place, she gets murdered. And so the first girl I dated, the sister of the person who is kind of is involved with, their father, he was a drug addict. I don't know if he died of an OD or if he killed himself, but Kristen always claimed to be able to speak to her dead father, like
the
I
one
don't
who
know.
went to Costa Rica?
This story probably deserves to be edited out.
No, not
The one
that
you
one.
hooked up with when the other one went to Costa Rica.
Yes,
I'm trying to say,
she could speak to her dead father.
You
but
thought Howie's
also-
bad telling scripted stories.
Yeah,
all-
much,
Yeah,
much
this
to
is-
my
wow.
detriment. I am paying
Howie,
attention
why
to
don't-
you.
Yeah,
But
Howie,
all-
why don't you tell me the script and I'll type it up next year so you can not sound retarded telling it. That's
Serious question here, guys. Serious questions. Have you noticed that there's been white circles drawn around all of us? Have you noticed that where we're sitting, there's white circles on the ground?
White circles.
White circles. What are you
Wait a
talking
minute. Wait a minute. Are we at a Joe Biden rally?
Well, there's no one else here. How could,
That it makes a lot of sense now that we thought we were alone in the woods, but
Wait a
we're really
minute.
at a Biden rally.
hold
That
on.
does
I'm
make
starting
a
to
lot
come back to myself here. I don't, guys. I don't think we were ever at Porkfest at all. Actually, now that I think about
Wait
it.
a minute.
Did we-
What was the van? I'm actually. Wait a minute.
was there a van? Was there? Were we just? Hold on. What is that?
Am I seeing houses around?
Uniform dream?
What's that wheelbarrow? What is that wheelbarrow sitting there? Was that the JB? Were you just pulling that wheelbarrow this whole time with us in it? And we thought
He
that
does
was
have a lot of mud on his pants.
I
don't know
kind
if
of
I could pull
remember
a
now.
wheelbarrow with 5 grown men in it. But
I remember we were.
doing that?
I kind of have this vague memory of sitting around arguing about what we were going to do for Halloween. I wanted to trick or treat, and then Rico got mad. I don't remember. Rico got mad, and then we started drinking this punch, and then suddenly we were at Porkfest. Oh my
Roofie
God,
punch.
we did it again. We did it again.
Every goddamn year.
God damn it.
Every year this happens where we get high on mushrooms or LSD or JB roofies us, and we end up doing nothing. I don't have any candy. I didn't see any celebrities. My costume fell off. Somebody stole it. I don't even know what happened to it.
How we just wrote in the chat, is there another script? Yeah, that's for the real show that we were doing before we took all those drugs. Anyway, I'll email that to you one right now.
Seriously, yeah, I mean, I thought we were done. That's why I was telling that story that nobody wants to hear.
It
Well,
made no
if you read to the
Yeah.
end of what I wrote, it clearly does.
Some
lay
of us
out
have the ability
thing.
to ad lib and play along with the storyline.
So Howie, just to sum up,
Even
your
Odie
story,
was doing it.
A girl you knew
Very
says she could talk to her dead father.
Yes, and so the other
Thank you for
her,
bringing
her
us back into this
sister,
fucking
this-
nightmare, Rico.
I
girl
thought that
was-
story
I
was
want Howie to talk
I thought
more.
that story was
This is
part
like
of that
hold
Nightmare
on,
on
hold
Elm
on.
Street, where you think you wake up from the dream, but then Freddy comes out and
Freddy's still
fucking
there.
stabs you again.
It's a good story. I don't know why you're ruining it. So this girl
What's
gets
that one with Leonardo
great.
DiCaprio in
This
Inception
girl-
where it's like 10 levels of dreams?
And how
damn it.
a story gets longer in every level.
so this Costa
Every time
Rican
he shows up and starts telling the story again.
this Costa Rican girl gets
It won't
murdered.
stop no matter what you say.
This Costa Rican girl gets murdered, and
And he
Renee just
starts his story over every time you interrupt him. That's the best part. This Costa Rican girl
I'll
gets
just log
murdered.
off. Whatever. It's
So I was in the basement and I was surrounded by these dead bodies.
so this girl gets murdered, and
Oh, yeah.
since Renee knew her sister could talk to her dead father, who could talk to the other dead, tries to find out what happens, and she hears the story about how she was stabbed to death by these jealous bitches at the bar that were like upset that she was dancing with this dude, and she hears all the details how she died, and it was like fucking horrible. But she said, tell the dude, the ex-boyfriend, that it wasn't that bad. And he will find out soon that his cousin is pregnant, and that's going to be me reincarnated. And so Renee like tells him this, and like
This story ended with him banging his cousin.
Then like a week or two later, they found out the cousin, yes, is pregnant, and Renee becomes a suspect in the murder.
And the father was Hunter Biden.
And because she knows all these details of it that she shouldn't possibly have known because she was told so by her sister, who talked to her dead father, who talked to other like ghosts. She
reminds me of Spaceballs, where he's like
got
talking to Lone Star and he's trying to explain how they're related, and he's like, "Your uncle, my second cousin, the sister." But
as you all might know, the polygraph is bullshit. She was let off.
I think what happened here, Howie, is
she
your
did not
friend
go to
killed
jail.
someone.
But yeah, that's the thing.
Sounds like your friend killed someone.
I'm about to get to that. The fact is, at the end of this, because I mean, I know Kristen. I dated her. I hooked up with her. I knew she talked to the dad. Or
fucked her sister. We know all the details.
Yeah, we know that part.
So either.
Make sure you get that part right.
Yeah, same word, different pronunciation.
Either there's life after death and reincarnation is real, or my ex is a murderer.
Well,
there are other alternative scenarios.
Could be all of the above. Let's not.
A little question about this story. So the girl talked to her father. Why didn't the father ever get reincarnated? But the dead girlfriend got reincarnated instantly. Right?
There's got to be a queue.
There was
like at the deli.
Yeah.
Pick a number.
Excuse me. I was waiting. Thank you. That's my uterus. That's my fetus. Thank you.
Rico, I don't know how this all works, but crazy things like this have led me to crazy things like this have led me to believe that when someone gets pregnant, that the fetus doesn't have a soul, but you can I feel like we pick who we're going to be born into, like
the fetus does.
Like the fetus, not the fetus. Like the fetus becomes ensouled at some point when a soul decides to inhabit it.
So the soul decides who to inhabit.
Right. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, but at some point, there's not going to be enough souls, right? When it starts out, there's not. You can accrue all these dead souls, but if they're coming back all the time,
where
the souls go around.
Population exponentially grows.
How do you know that there's a limit of souls?
The soul also knows what it's going to
Demi
experience.
Moore was in an 80s movie.
It's supply and demand of these souls, Howie. Come on, you're a libertarian. You know how this game works.
Alternate
the soul
universes
crisis is going to be astronomical.
I can tell you how it works if you're wanting to know.
Well, some people have new souls. That's the way that it would work.
That sounds like a bonus show. Maybe.
So your soul,
That's
what it is, it's it's a part of God. It's like a divine spark. It's a littlest piece. And I feel God could give off an infinite amount of those. So I think we're not going to run out of souls to him.
He's like, God's literally going, skeet, motherfucker. And then it just
Our guest today is Howie Snowden, who will explain how the soul works. Howie, welcome to the Tom Wood Show.
Welcome.
I actually don't even like using the word soul because it's so loaded with things.
I'm Tom Woods. Welcome to episode with Howie Snowden number 4.
What would you rather use?
You can tell him an ebook, God's Skeetin' Souls, at
because gingers are like vampires.
This is interesting. Renee, my ex, she was a ginger.
I don't know why people have so much ginger hate. Like when a ginger is hot, she's fucking hot.
Oh yeah,
you know,
there's no in between with the ginger.
Exactly. When I don't know where the hate comes from. You know.
I like
them. Is there hate towards ginger women? I've never even heard that.
So I never have to talk about
tons of gingers.
Yeah, ginger men are disgusting, but ginger women are...
I think that's true.
Well, here's the question, guys. We've been sitting in the middle of the street here in this neighborhood, which apparently
Before you get to this question, I have a question. Before we end the Howie story, can John Odermatt have Renee on Felony Friday and get to the bottom of whether she actually killed this girl?
I would love to.
That's a good idea.
Send me the email address, Howie.
I think, and then we'll send Remzo Martinez to investigate our house for ghosts. Same time.
You have to go interview the niece that got born or the cousin that got born. Well, just say the email live on the show, and Odie won't have to.
Just so I never have to speak about her again. So
you never had to in the first place, Howie.
Yeah.
That was all you.
Mark, in fairness, I feel like this is the second time Howie's told this story. But
that was the alarm that goes off every time Howie tells the story.
Goes over 10
have you guys ever heard of the Trans Allegheny Lunatic Asylum?
No, but I'm filling out that too in a very incoherent way.
Sounds like a coal railroad or something.
It is actually in America, well, not even America, just in the world, the second largest sandstone building aside from the Kremlin. The Kremlin's the only other big one, but this was this lunatic asylum in West Virginia. They started to build, like 100 years ago. Lots of horrible shit happened there. They've got some paranormal tours and shit. I think we should do a Lions Liberty special investigating.
Did anybody figure out, are we still in the trip?
In West Virginia? Like where in West Virginia?
We're just sitting in the middle of the street here. We're just listening to Howie babble on in the middle of the street right now.
I'd rather be back in the ghost stories.
I live close to West Virginia, but it's like 4 hours for me. It's like out there.
I thought I didn't like ghost stories until now. Now I prefer.
Yeah, Howie really makes you respect a well-written, hastily well-written libertarian ghost story. I mean, I had another idea of a story called Mises Pieces about Ludwig von coming back from the dead and chopping up a bunch of politicians.
Speaking of
it's not
ghost
really
stories,
scary. It's not really scary. It's just kind of like you root for him the entire time.
Speaking of ghost stories, how bad is Trump going to beat that zombie Biden?
How badly? I think if anything, it's going to be a pretty close election. No.
Okay. Who thinks? Am I the only one who thinks Biden's going to win?
I don't think Biden's going to win. I think Trump's going to win by a good margin.
Right? I don't know a lot about this stuff, but I do know that I think Trump is going to win Pennsylvania. Does that mean he wins the election?
It doesn't mean it, but it means
it doesn't mean it.
It's pretty hard for Biden
I'd
to
be
win without
surprised if
Pennsylvania.
he wins it. I'm almost certain he's not going to win the popular vote again. And
that
I think
matter,
if he
though.
wins
That's
a
not
couple
even-
of
that's
key
even
states,
part of the
it's
thing.
over. If Biden wins a couple of key states on top of that, it's over.
Rico thinks Biden's going to win.
Pennsylvania's
My
one of
whole
them.
Biden losing theory is based on Rico's mom voting for Trump.
Yeah, well,
And, hey, you know, I know a lot of people
I'm
that
throwing all
voted for
all
Trump
my
that didn't
charts
before.
and graphs now.
JP,
this is what I think.
Hold on.
Your fault.
Howie
Howie
had
hasn't
plenty
talked
of
enough.
time. Plenty of Howie time.
No,
has-
just
has
one question.
occurred.
Just one question for JP. JP,
Unless it's telling us who the murderer is. in that
outside
story, I
of the
don't care.
mainstream media polls, what indicates Biden beating Trump? Because like Trump seems to have more rally attendance, more enthusiasm. Like outside the mainstream media polls,
I'm not counting. I'm not using so much as the general polls per se. I'm assuming most of the states that Trump won, he's going to win again, bar a few key northern ones, like Michigan and Pennsylvania.
So I think he's going to get Michigan.
I think
or,
Michigan
Pennsylvania at least.
will probably go to Biden, but
Yeah, like
he's not going to win
trouble if
Pennsylvania.
those two states go to Biden, and they can easily go to Biden.
I really don't see Pennsylvania. I mean, you're in Philadelphia, which is basically
Well,
It's like
you have
two-
to
there's like
remember
two
that
states within
went
Pennsylvania.
blue
It's
for like
Philadelphia
100
and the
years
rest of
before Trump
Pennsylvania.
won it in 2016.
Were
It's
you
very
near those
easily could
riots
flip
last
back
night?
blue. You have to concede that.
Were you near
Could.
the riot-
Easily, it could easily. I add
Look,
that little bit easily. because
JB,
it
are
was
you
blue
drafting
for like
Biden onto your Liberty
30
draft?
years before that red
That's all I
victory,
need to know.
right?
Are you drafting Joe Biden?
So
in your
that's
Liberty
not
draft?
really a stretch to suggest that
No, he is.
Pennsylvania might vote for Biden.
Yeah, well,
Might
it's
go
not
for
like
Biden.
presidentially it had gone blue for a very long time.
Yeah,
but
well, we're
Pennsylvania's
talking
long
about the
history of
presidential
flipping back
election,
and
aren't
forth
we?
between red and blue governors and flipping
But
back
we're
and forth
talking
between
about
red and blue
president.
senators.
I mean specifically voting for president. That's what
True.
I mean.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's historically, yeah. That's
I'm
why
not
it was
saying that it's going to
so crazy
happen.
when
I'm
Trump
saying it's
won.
not that big of a stretch. It's really a toss-up at this point. That's how I feel.
Oh, I'm not.
It's really a toss-up.
Were you affected by the riots?
I don't think it's
last
going to be
night?
blowout, but I think Trump will win comfortably.
No, that was in West Philly. I live closer to Delaware.
Like-
I live in a more affluent part of
the Prince
town.
of Bel
Like,
Air.
wait, where the Fresh Prince, West Philadelphia, born and raised. That's where the problems are.
Yeah. Well, because that's where the guy got shot, so it was kind of the epicenter.
Good thing
of it.
they moved him to Bel Air.
Do you guys sense the same confidence in your liberal progressive friends that 4 years? Because 4 years ago, no one outside of like maybe some libertarian or whatever circles even thought Trump had any chance at all. And there was extreme confidence from their end that he was never going to win, and which led to the extreme shock and the extreme meltdowns and all the mental anguish and such. Do you think they have that same confidence? The people that just anecdotally, the people you know personally, or do you think that they are actually worried? Because I don't know. I most people like that seem to think that he's going to win, but it doesn't seem like they say it with the same kind of confidence that I heard.
No, they've got the same confidence.
I disagree. Well, I can't disagree with you, but the liberals I know are nowhere near confident. They're
I
actually
can
terrified.
tell you my mom and
As far as I know,
handful
but
of
I know
liberals I know
liberal
are
scientists,
confident
and they're more
Biden's
rational
gonna
than
win.
your average liberal. Like I've mentioned many a times, they're terrified.
Okay, well, one
They're terrified. How are they rational?
Because they acknowledge that Trump can easily win this election. That's what.
Yeah, I know, but why is that terrifying?
Because they're liberals.
I know, but he's the president right now.
Odie, if Trump wins
well,
re-election...
they think now that Amy Coney Barrett is in there that they're going to, repeal Roe vs. Wade, which is not going to happen, and that they're going to do all sorts of retarded shit. Which
everyone's dying, Odie. Don't you follow the
There's a
news?
good chance my mom commits suicide if Trump wins re-election.
Well, you'll have to see if your cousin can talk to her or your ex-girlfriend can talk to her.
Very nonchalant about this.
Well, I mean, I think you bring up a serious concern, Howie, for if Trump does win again,
there will be people that actually kill themselves.
There's going to be there's a huge Darwinism problem.
What about the turnout, though? I think the turnout's going to be much higher than it was 4 years ago, right? And I don't think that favors Trump.
No.
A lot of those mail-in ballots are going to be validated, though.
Every statistical measure proves that it doesn't. The more people who vote, the less likely Trump will win.
Right. And I think that whole get out the vote, the nonstop fucking brainwashing of get out the vote, that's really aimed at 18 to 30-year-olds, right?
Yeah, that's why it's so blanket.
Totally
I saw a meme. I forgot who shared it. But it was like, think about all these people, Libertarians, Republicans, and Green Party. It doesn't matter. Because every metric bears out the more people that vote, the more likely a Democrat will win. So they'll blanket it. So they get more Green Party ballots. It doesn't matter. Numbers are numbers. And the numbers are secure. That's why it makes sense for them just to say vote. They don't even have to say vote Democratic.
Yeah, that's of course it's a lefty position because they know that, the masses are going to go.
Yeah, numbers are numbers.
Fuck democracy. I hate it. So we need to stop voting. Stop more people. Let's limit who can vote.
Oh yeah,
Voter,
should we start with women or the black guys?
Women. We never should have let women vote. That's for sure. Seriously.
That's our next ghost story. It's called
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that, Howie.
Here's an idea. You should be able to vote if you're a net taker of tax money. If you're a net payer, you can vote. If you're a net taker, but if you work for government or do any work for government, you should not be allowed to vote.
That's what only landowners can vote back in the day.
In the Supreme Court, that includes all those fucks. Because I'd be fine with that personally.
Yeah,
but that's a minuscule number.
It would mean I can't vote, but I'd be fine with it.
There's only I'd be surprised if there's more than maybe.
I mean, you're not voting.
And I'm being very generous. Maybe 10,000 people directly running the government in D.C. and in local things, probably, right? Something like that.
I don't know.
So, and I'm being generous. It's probably in the tens of thousands compared to 330 million people.
I have no idea. I feel like it's more than that.
Tens of thousands? Do you think that's too little?
I don't know. I have no idea.
But if you think about if you go back to the 70s or whatever and you think about what maybe the Democrats' long-term strategy was, it's brilliant. You get all the fucking academics, fill all the colleges with liberals.
Yep.
Get all 90% of the mainstream media, fill all of them with liberals. Promise everyone everything, government handouts.
Oh, wait, don't forget about the other part. Make sure everybody runs up their debt and goes to college so that they're all deeply in debt, and then promise them free college.
Right.
And free
you're basically either indoctrinating people into the Democratic philosophy or you're buying their votes.
Hey,
so it's over.
I feel like I'm always at odds with you, Rico, even though I feel like, in honesty, we have very similar political ideals and outlooks. But I feel like I'm always on the end of what you're saying.
Wait, so Rico is an undercover progressive too?
No. That's not what I'm saying.
On the end of what I'm saying?
No, but what you're saying, I feel like is much less calculated than that. You make it sound like a conspiracy. And I don't think it's a conspiracy talking to real liberals. Real liberals think these things, they earnestly think these things are good. It's not like they're being brainwashed. It's not like they think they're wrong.
Well, they have been brainwashed. That's the point, though. Is that
I'm not saying
it's brainwashed when you.
I'm trying to
most
say,
liberals, JB, have only heard one side of the narrative because they're brought up in the schools which teach one side of the narrative. They run in circles. They watch media. All these things tell one side of the narrative only. So they are effectively already brainwashed. So by saying, well, they believe these things, well, it's fine, but it doesn't mean they're not brainwashed.
They're no more brainwashed than conservatives because their solution always has to do with government. And it's the same thing with conservatives. You just a lot of people don't seem to want to admit it and realize conservatives use government force just as much as liberals do.
I agree, 100%.
Of course. Yeah, of course.
And they think that
They
the
both
only
do.
way to
There's
solve any
it's
problem
not gonna
is with
fall
some type
apart.
of government edict. It's not so much that, and I don't blame them, to be honest, because literally that's what we've been force-fed our entire lives.
Hey, JP.
Well, fuck him anyway.
JP, you're right.
Fuck him
JP,
anyway.
JP, you're right. And
Is this still the Halloween show?
What I will say to that.
I wanted to wrap that. We could do this
I
on a
feel like
bonus show.
I feel like we've been in a bonus show for the last half hour.
This is why I realized, like, I see the same problems that Rico does. I just don't think they're as insidious as Rico does. I think it's more a naturalistic explanation as opposed to a calculated, like, determined plan. I think people are who they are for a reason. People like government. I think libertarians seem to ignore the fact that the general populace likes government.
That's because they don't understand government.
Exactly. It's because they don't understand it.
Right.
And I rail at work all the time. It's like, you hate Trump so much. I hear liberals yelling in my face, voting for a third party. You're putting people's lives at risk. I'm like, don't you see a problem here? There's an office in our government that is so important. You think it risks your life who's in that seat. There's a problem there.
Exactly, JB. Yeah,
There
I
is a
tweeted something similar out.
problem that you're not
Especially with the
acknowledging
Supreme Court.
here.
Dude, Supreme Court, the same thing.
People should not have this
minds.
much control of your life that you're
Exactly.
losing your mind on whose ass is in the seat.
You know why that's
dude.
a problem? You know
that
why
needs
that's
to
a
be
problem?
solved.
It's a problem because we have elections. And
Yes.
And people have to promise shit to other people to get elected. No one can promise you, hey, you know what? You're never going to hear from me or see me. If you elect me,
I'm gonna run
whatever
on
the
that.
fuck you want. You'll never hear from me again. No one votes for that person.
I will disappear.
Well, everyone
Vote
should
for that
vote
person.
for that person.
Exactly. The
Can
system
I
is a system
select-
for a reason. It's not an accident that things are the way that they are. That's
Can
what
I-
I mean. It's not an accident.
Can I
That's why
suggest a solution
you've
to
talked enough,
something?
Howie. Let me say something.
Can we get a mute button for Howie?
The number
why
one
it's-
reason. The
I've
number
been
one
trying to
reason.
say something for 10 minutes where I haven't said anything.
That's
number
why
one reason.
politically.
Rico.
I'll just say one thing. That's why politically, when libertarians say, they campaign on, we just want to take over the government so we can leave you alone. People don't want to be left alone. People want to be
that's
helped.
The thing.
People want
like
assistance.
government.
People want to
I
feel
have
that
the
they're going to
answer
be
to
safe. That doesn't mean the government should do it, but you need to communicate with people that, guess what? You can feel safe and you can have community without government. You don't need any of that shit. You can do that locally in your own community, in your neighborhood. You can support each other. You don't need a strong state or federal government to do that for you.
Just need
You just
seven
need a big,
income streams
strong
and a
man to
healthy
hold
gut.
you. Like, it's going to be okay.
Would anybody like to hear the solution?
Not until I say that the best reason to join the Lions of Liberty Pride on Facebook, not just the best reason besides the discounts and the bonus content and the live streams and the live streams, is so you can see Howie Snowden's reactions when people tell him to stop talking.
Yes, and also to hear the rest of this conversation, which will be
Mark
behind
Claire,
the paywall.
shill of big tech, telling you to get on Facebook.
Oh, fucking Facebook. Facebook is cracking down. We get warnings every day now. We are not long for Facebook, but we'll see. We have to migrate maybe to Liberdon. We'll find out. But anyway, we're going to wrap this up. Nope. Save it for the bonus show, Howie.
Are we still tripping?
Well, Howie's rant sobered me up, honestly. Having to deal with that nightmare.
That's the real escape
brought me down for my trip. So we're going to wrap it up. This amazing Tales from the Liberty Crypt episode, guys. It's a tradition. It's a magnificent display of our acting talents, or my acting talents. Maybe Rico did okay. Mark did all right. Odie and JB. JB did okay. Howie and Odie, atrocious.
I need some prep time for my Trump impression. Can't just pull it out.
Well,
of my ass.
I did send the script that I wrote through for all these stories
90 like an hour
at least
before
2 hours ago.
I got
fucking
timestamp.
asshole.
2 hours ago. We
Anyway.
started the show 90 minutes ago.
That's it from me, Brian McWilliams, from the Lions of Liberty, Mark Claire, Howie Snowden, Rico, John Odermatt, and JB
Don't forget me,
Lubin.
Governor Gary Johnson, everybody. Thank you
And
very much.
Anthony
I don't know
Sammerow.
where- in the Southern, but I am now.
Anyway, from all of us, always stay plugged into Liberty.
Yeah.